kind of up to date on what's going on. We left for the winter time. We went to our friend's house for the winter time, and this way we could wait out like the freezing weather. When we got back, one of the first things we noticed when we got back inside the RV was that the ceiling had leaked. It almost looked like it rained in here. And the case that this was in, which is right there, this case was completely waterlogged. And so we took it out, we dried it out, we let it air out. And now we actually have a little more daytime. We're going to open this mixer and find out if it got soaked inside before we try to turn it on or use it, because we really need this mixer. We've had it for a hot second. So we're going to turn it up this way, and this way, like, all of the plugs and electrical that's on the back is on the high ground. And because this board is attached to the face panel, all of these knobs and sliders are actually mounted to this faceplate. And because this was, of course, sitting face up on the box, and the box was elevated about 1/2 of an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch off the water, we're hoping that nothing got wet. But we still need to know before we try to turn it back on. So I don't know. We wanted to document it in case something happened. I need a better screwdriver. We have documentation of what happened. Of course. I forgot that these existed. I'm going to have to remember that. I'm going to set these out for another video or another thing. I have some precision screwdrivers around here somewhere. I thought I had them in my drawer. Maybe they're in they're in my laptop case. That was the second place I was going to look, because we need precision tools. Don't know what that is, but that was in there, so we're going to put it back just in case. Basically, we just want to make sure that we don't turn this thing on, like plug it in, and all of a sudden we see the magic smoke being released. So, good opportunity. Is this actually magnetic? It's magnetic enough. We'll just use that. Now, the bright side to this mixer, again, you don't have to take the whole thing apart. We just have to take these side pieces off. Oh wait, there's 4 screws. I'll be damned. I did not see those. Now, I have the mounting rack for this as well. I actually could mount this on the wall. It comes with these specialty rails, and you can mount these rails on like this to the back of the mixer, and this mounts into your rack. So if we needed to, we could mount this in a way that it doesn't get wet again, just since we don't plan on moving it around too much. Those should just pop right in there. Yeah. I don't see any like moisture inside the slide. That's a good sign. So far, so good. The easy part. Now we got to take out all 8 of those screws. Which this panel comes off as a whole, and then the rest of the 3 sides of the case are floating. Those screws are so tight. I've taken this apart one other time because I was looking at the sliders on the inside. The volume button, what am I saying? The volume sliders down here for the FX and sub 1 and 2 broke. And we actually have, where are they? We have some replacement sliders that we could put in the, like we could take it apart and fix it if we ever take the circuit board off the front, which is damn, that is in there. Maybe we need more torque, because it definitely shouldn't be that hard to open. There we go. This makes the job easier because they're not stuck in a rusty way. They're stuck in a water got in the base of this damn thing way. So they're like, they're corroded. I don't see any rust. I guess technically there was more than 8 screws, but I didn't count the ones on the side. The cool thing about the YouTube Live versus TikTok Live, if you guys missed what we're doing, you can rewind the live and go look at it and then come back. You can't do that on TikTok Live. You just got to catch it as it comes. I dropped that screw. There it is. We definitely don't need to lose these. Cool. All right. Well, I didn't realize the power supply was mounted on the lid, which is unfortunately that's the one thing that could make or break this thing. But is it wet? It looks like it could have gotten wet, where there's like this light bit of corrosion along the side. It looks like it did get, there's a little pattern of moisture. It doesn't look like this got wet though. If you look around it, it actually still looks nice and shiny, like there's no water residue. And that's what we're really glad for, because you can see the water residue here. There's no mistake in that. Oh man. Oh, we might be in good shape then, because I definitely didn't want to have to take this board off yet. This is not as easy to take off as just a back plate. It definitely looks like the water was deep enough to get in there. I don't see any water damage in the power supply though. I still don't want to turn it on like just yet. But like if you look down in it, it doesn't look like there's actually any water damage to the circuitry. Taking that shield off would help us get a better view too. Let's do that. All right. Oh, that's gorgeous. It doesn't look doesn't look damaged. That is all part of the same housing. Wow. So they use the same screw to mount everything. But just to show you guys what I'm seeing, like, I don't know how bright that is for y'all. Hold on. There we go. So everything, like, honestly looks pretty pristine given the fact that it was sitting in water. I don't fear turning this on. I don't know if you guys see anything that I'm missing, but I do not see any puffed capacitors. Like, none of the caps are puffed. I mean, you have diodes here and here. They're not going to be, unless you turn it on. Let's look at the underside of that board, just in case. Oh no, that's not a plug. Crying. All right, well, what's holding us down? Oh, actually it did get wet. There's just a little bit, but it oh, there's corrosion right there. Uh-huh, look at that. You can see the moisture there. You can see it got all right here. Hey, Lo, how's it going? Yeah, the mixer, we haven't turned it on yet, but you can see corrosion right here across this, and you can see where it got wet. This is why we took it apart before we turned it on. Let me get some alcohol, and I don't really have that many Q-tips, but I need to go to the store. So I might get some while I'm out. Let's see. This is anytime something gets flooded, like, it's always good to take it apart and go through it. This message held for review. What you mean? Hey, Raven. How's it going? I don't know why it asked me to hold that. That's weird. But yeah, so we came back to a flooded mess. This thing, I don't have pictures that I can put on screen, but the case that it was in, here, just because I don't feel like, this case was filled with water, and this was sitting in the case face up. Now, this board doesn't look wet. That doesn't mean we're not going to go over it, but this, so far, we found that it did get wet here, and of course, you can see the corrosion right across there, which is conductive corrosion. It's fucking pain in the ass. But we can clean that away. It's a shame it got wet, because that means now I gotta, like, play it safe, and I can't turn this on. That's a shame. That's so disappointing. But at the same time, at least we didn't turn it on and it go and then magic smoke. I need a pointy stick. Oh wait, I have a pointy stick right in here. Right here. Look at this. I have a specialty made pointy stick specifically for being pointy. What am I doing? I'm not used to actually being back at the workshop. We've been at our best friend's house for so long that we forgot our own stuff. All right. I believe that looks all right. Yeah. Nice and clean. You almost can't even tell. Missed you. That's so cool. I didn't know that. Yeah. It's unfortunate that it got wet though, because that puts us in that oh shit mode. We gotta clean it. All right, so this is good. I would feel safe to put this back together, and then we can move on to looking at that, because I absolutely do not want to plug this fucking thing on and then all of a sudden I see magic smoke. That'll break my soul. Can't do it. So how are y'all doing this fine Thursday afternoon? Well, I hope. It's been weird not being on TikTok, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Is it going? What are you doing? Oh, it's upside down. Oh my god. We did when we deleted TikTok, we weren't expecting to actually like immediately miss it. But unfortunately we just can't. The forced AI everywhere and the fact that the new owner, we can't support the new owner. We're like, no, you're not going to have access to all our shit. So we deleted all of our content and page, which sucks because we've had that page for 7 years or so. Yeah, it was like 19,000 people on there. But, you know, glad you're still going live. Oh, yeah. You know it. You already know it. We used to do the YouTube live stream significantly more than TikTok. The only reason we switched is because at that time, YouTube did not have vertical live stream, or at least on our phone anyway. It was available, but like our phone wouldn't do it. So we just basically ended up sticking to TikTok live for so long that we stopped doing them over here, because usually we do electronic builds over here. The last live stream that we did, well, I mean, we've done a bunch of DIY live streams, but a lot of our live streams that we were doing were focused on our synthesizer. I know that's weird, but I almost feel like it has a smell. All right, so this is so high up off the bottom. I don't see that it could be wet. Like there's no signs of moisture at all. However, I'm also hesitant to not at least take it apart. The only problem is taking this apart is not as simple as it looks. Like I have to take these 3 cables off, and then on this side, I have to take it split at channel 8. That makes sense, I suppose. Yeah, so 7 and 8. Wow. So they have a whole separate board for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14. Yeah, so this section is a whole separate fucking board. That's cool. But these I'd have to take off all of these and every one of these knobs all the way down, all these caps. And I don't exactly relish in that idea. But in the name of being thorough, son of a bitch, y'all, this is what happens. You got to be thorough. So look, here's the thing. We're going to be taking this next piece apart, and I'm not thrilled about that. I am not thrilled. Mainly because it's a lot of work. Do I want to do it? No. But am I going to do it? Yes, absolutely. Because here's what happens if we don't. If we don't do this, and it comes to find that there is corrosion or there is moisture, then we might fry this fucking thing. And this is a very expensive mixer. Like, it's not the most expensive, but we broke. And I want to say this is about $500 if we have to buy a new one. or at least a replacement. I don't think you could buy this one new anymore. I don't know. But I don't want to spend any money. I'd rather just take the time to take this tedious shit apart and fix it, you know. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it apart and fix it. But we're not going to take everything. We're only going to take this side off, because if one side is dry, the other side should be dry also. Plus, I don't really want to take off 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 88 knobs. Jesus Christ. Whatever. I guess that'll stay there. I'm just going to loosen them all up and then do it by hand. I used to have a little a socket for this thing just lined up ready to go, but I think that socket set is in the Jeep. I don't feel like going all the way out to the Jeep when I have some perfectly useful pliers right here. Boom. And now we can do that by hand. Or mostly. Did I miss one? Looks like I missed one. So we got to take all these off, and then we got to take all the knobs off, and then once we take all the knobs off, we got to go through and take all of the little, there's bolts spread throughout we got to take off. So fun. Building a synthesizer is about like this, by the way. This is not far off from building a synth, because a synth has the same kind of layout of a bunch of knobs, and it feels like about the same amount of work, honestly. So this is not far off. We would like to be working on Wanda right about now, actually, but this has to come first, because this is what we plug Wanda into so we can play the different voices. I got some fine tweezers. I do have some fine tweezers. Look at that. Not that it's helping me any. Wow, come on. These things are like perfectly in sync with the face. Oh my God. Lift. Bitch. I don't want to have to lose them, because as soon as I pop that board out, they're all going to go flying. There we go. Get up under there. Give me that washer. I'm telling you this shit, bro. Oh my God. Compared to our normal, when we're working on the synthesizers, they're not sitting down in it. It almost feels like they're sitting down in a little crevice. If it not for them moving around, that is. Getting everything back together is going to be way easier, thank goodness, because like we'll have already done all the taking apart. Everything else just falls into place when you go to put it back together. So this is actually the longest part. Come on. Come on. There we go. We've almost got a little system going. Right as there's one left. 2 left. I lied. All right. Oh, good. They're marked. That'll make things significantly easier. I shouldn't have said nothing. We'll put those there. Do y'all remember what order they went in? White, gray, blue, white, blue, green, orange, gray. They're gold. Those, whatever. Shut up. Damn it. Look at that. It's a fucking thumb damage. Oh my god. Fuck. Alright, tell you what. Kudos to whoever designed these fucking keycaps. Or the potentiometer caps. Holy fucking hell, they're on there. They got like either suction going for them or they're glued on. Or tolerances are fucking low. I'm also trying not to like bend them or nothing because breaking these off would fucking suck. Oh, my fucking hands. Crying. I'll take these off. I need, you know what, while I've got this fucking thing open, I might as well fix these two sliders over here. I'd take this whole fucking board apart. Just go on and let's take the whole board apart. Just take all the keycap covers, the fucking boom. All right, now I want to focus on not yanking all these covers off though, because I want to do it one section at a time so I don't start losing track of all these knobs. This is an opportunity to clean this fucking thing. Ah, it's going to look so nice. A little bit of TLC, I'm telling you. Come out of there, bitch. Oh, all right. I got to give my thumb a rest. I need water. Who knew it was going to be so stuck? I've never actually tried to take these knobs off before. All right. I'm so sorry. I'd rather not do that. Ow, bitch. Oh, son. I'm going to injure myself taking these caps off. I'm convinced that something got glued on here. I didn't want to do this because it leaves teeth marks on the fucking cap. Oh, but these come off super easy. Cool. Except for that one. Bro. Fuck it. My ADHD can't handle this shit, dude. We're just gonna go in. We're going. It's not the way I want to do it, but it's the way we're gonna do it. God damn. I have these exact keycaps too, I think. Hold on. These are blue. There's some knobs. Oh no, these are cooler. Never mind. Mine are cooler. What's up? Oh well. It's like a gigantic puzzle. Only you gotta take it apart before you can put it back together. Oh my Jesus Christ. That one almost didn't want to come off with the pliers. There we go. We managed to not break anything. And now we need a hex. Not a hex. Is that H2.5? Nope. Is it an H2? We almost got it on the first shot, question mark. It is an H2. Fucking A. Let's go. Now the board you've all been waiting for. Ah, son of a bitch. I built this whole workspace and don't have space. How does that work? How is that crimped in there? I love being blind. I think that is a slide, question mark. I like chonking boards, by the way. I don't know if you guys can tell. Ah, it's a flip. Cool. And this one's glued. Why would you bro, right to repair much? Little bastards. Fuck you. Take that shit out of there. Your void is warranty. All right. Oh my God. They do not want you to repair these fucking things. Can't even get the ground cable out of there. Without extreme prejudice. I guess they do this so that regular people don't fuck with it. Although I don't know why regular people would be opening their shit up like this. Regular being people that don't work on electronics. Not that regular people can't play with their own stuff. Will you release? Are you going to come free? Of course you won't, because I didn't take enough screws out. This is why we don't force stuff. You just poke it. If you poke it and it don't move, go back and try again. And in this case, we forgot all of the fucking screws for the mic holes. How goes the electronics? Abby, how's it going? Pretty good. We're just taking apart our mixer because it got flooded. And now we're doing the tedious job of taking it apart and then putting it back together, hopefully without any extra pieces. It's a sign of a true professional when you can put something back together and there's extra pieces. I'd like to pride myself on saying that that wasn't even needed anyway. Functions just fine without it. We're basically making sure there's no water damage, all this work. Like all the taking apart, the disassembly, literally. And then of course, while we've got this much taken apart, we're going to take apart the rest of it and clean it. And this is definitely more than we were expecting to actually do, but there's no rule saying we can't do this. Now, release. Oh, look at that. It's releasing. Now, why are you held up on this side? Is there a screw left? There's a screw left. Well, fuck. I thought we got all the screws out. Huzzah! We have a mixer circuit. Said hi. How's it going? Waiting for an email so I can do your second interview? Hell yeah. Look at all those fucking potentiometers. Look at that. And then we got these 100K sliders. There's some bad news here, though. Those are shallow sliders. And if I were going to try to replace them, I've got tall sliders. So like sitting them side by side, you can see that there would be no room. So I can't replace the sliders. the ones that broke on the other side. None of these are broken. These are very satisfying clicky buttons. Look at that. So I see nothing wrong here. I almost am slightly upset that I took all that apart and there's nothing wrong. But this is the admission to being absolutely careful and safe that we turn this bitch on and it don't fry, because it is our mixer. Well, now that we've got this part taken off, why don't we go ahead and definitely want to wipe down this faceplate. This thing hasn't seen a good deep cleaning ever. Feel like all the work this thing has put in to give us good music, might as well take good care of it, yeah? Oh yeah. That's shiny, brand new looking. Look at that clean line. You could see where it needed. Better to be safe than sorry. Oh hell yeah. Especially with something like this, because I can't afford to buy another one. Now that I know that that's one solid board, and I can see that these boards are mounted with standoffs, and those standoffs do not directly correlate to a bolt on the front, we can actually leave these boards alone and just take this whole panel out as a whole. Very redundant words, I know. So the only thing I want to do is I want to take this off, because that's attached to the case, and this off because this is attached to the case. I love how they were like, let's just hot glue everything. And then didn't even hot glue it that great, honestly. I don't know. I'm critical. I will say, I am so sorry, y'all. I'm like very critical of the designs of this, because the only thing stopping an average person from designing something like this is sitting down and doing it. You can get all of these boards designed on. I use a circuit board program. Let me look on my computer because I can't even fucking remember. Do I still have that program on this? Is it even on my laptop? It might not be on my laptop. I can't remember the name of the program. It's been a few years. The last board we designed was Wanda, but it looks like these. Like literally, like I designed these very shittily. These were just like prototype boards, and I wanted plenty of room to drill. But I designed this board and wired it all on my computer, and then sent it to JLC PCB and had them print the circuit board for me. So if I wanted to make another one of these mixers, well, the circuitry for a mixer is easy. We've already made a mixer further back in the channel. You just need functions. So like this equalizer is a bandpass. This is the frequency range that it's adjusting. You have your pan left and right, the FX volume, which comes over to an FX center, and you can buy modules that do sound effects, which are what these two boards are. These are sound effects modules, guarantee it. Probably this one. This one looks more like a actual processor. Yeah, this one is the FX processor, and then this one is the auxiliary, like it converts digital to analog. So we already took that much apart. We might as well keep going. We'll take this piece off because it makes sure this thing is good and clean. And if we happen to break something, at least it's open so we can fix it, right? We have all of our electronics around us for once. All right, and this ground is, oh, those are just two grounds connecting one another. So that can sit there. And now this board is unplugged. And now we got to go on this side and do the tedious job of removing the keycaps, which I'm not even going to fucking try doing it by hand. That last round really sucked. So we're going to do it this way, which again, not the way I would personally prefer to do it, but all of these seem so fucking stuck. I've been meaning to take this mixer apart for a really long time to clean it more than anything, but now here's the thing. I didn't organize any of the shit that I'm taking off of this. It's just in a pile over here. So let me see if I can get you guys a better angle. There we go. That's a little better. You can see a little bit more. But yeah, so the cool thing is we have enough pictures of this mixer. We could reference the pictures. We're not totally fucked, you know. Like we're not totally fucked. We could go reference pictures, which I admittedly did not take a head-on picture before starting this project. But I can Google an image of this mixer. So there's references available. Always take a picture before you fuck shit up, though. I say that, and I know I haven't done that, but I took a video, and I've got reference images for this thing, so I'm not without. But you should always take a picture of anything before you take it apart. Honestly, the coloring of the knobs matters not to me, but they're on there color coded for like easy reference whenever it's darker and you can't read the text. So there's only like a mild reason they need to be in the right order. I love that's the only knob like that. All right, if we could keep all these bolts kind of on the same spot, that is great. La, da, 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 da. Don't forget the Phillips head at the top. I really wished I had the right size sliders because I'd totally fixed the sliders on this thing while I was at it. These two down here for FX and sub. Just got to wing it. I mean, you could wing a lot. I wouldn't wing working on this. I mean, I guess I'm winging it, but I wouldn't recommend winging it. The only reason I'm not scared of this right now is because we've taken enough stuff apart and put it back together and designed enough stuff that there is a sense of symmetry to it. Like we can see there's the only Allen head are for the circuit board mounting, So that helps. The only Phillips head that have the rough, like the rough screw thread, is for mounting these sockets up here at the top. And the pan head screws, the dome screws, they go to mount the back on. And then, well, the bolts for the TRS plugs, you know, they only go in one spot. So like taking this apart and putting it back together it's not rocket surgery. This does give me a chance to clean it though. Like I said, this is a big thing. Did I put those in the wrong spot? I sure as fuck did. I am separating some of the screws. Like the Phillips head that I'm taking off now are in a separate pile. Whereas like the domes are not, because there's only two types of domes. The domes that hold the case together and the domes that have the Allen head that hold the circuit board on. Actually, I want to leave these 4 until I can get these off. God, if I had the spoons to go get my sockets, I could just put a... I wonder if I got a socket in here. No, I don't. Well, so much for making life easier. I was kind of hopeful. You know, if nothing else came of all of this, it was cleaning out the corrosion in the power supply and cleaning off the face so that this mixer didn't look like it was 75 years old, even though it's probably only like 10. Time fucking flies. Plus, this makes me nervous, this looseness. So that'll give us a chance to see if there's anything broken. Some of these solder joints, not everyone we've ever dealt with, but like our foot pedal, for example, had cold solder joints and they had broken loose. And with these sockets being as loose as they are, there's a possibility they could be like that also. Now I think given this board, we might just let the washer slide. Maybe. Because I don't see anywhere for them to really go. Plus that saves me having a fight with them like I did last time. I love that sound. Good dunk. That means it worked. Cool. We didn't lose any washers. Oh, that's why that's loose, because it's separate. Okay, well, that answers that question. Ah, look at that. And sure enough, that's why it was loose. So this is connected with a cable here. It's not actually connected to the board itself. Why is that though? Oh, it's to maintain height. Because if you look, these boards are offset. Cool. All right. But yeah, if you look down here, these sliders, they snapped. So the only way to fix those would be to get some of these smaller potentiometers, because the ones we've got are too big. They're like, not only are they too long, but they're too tall. That's all right. At least those sockets are loose on purpose. Everything else looks pretty solid. Don't see any loose anything. I do see some stuff right there though. Let's clean that off. Oh yeah, there's some moisture damage right there. Yep. Not a lot, but definitely present. I don't see any cracked solder joints, which is a good thing. It saves me work. I see some shitty looking solder jobs though, like this one and this one. That one could use some adjustment. Well, those are screw posts. Never mind. Huh. Well, I will shut up then. It definitely got wet, but it looks like everything is dried out, and I don't see any corrosion on this board. The only corrosion I actually saw was on the power supply, and that was not even enough to worry about. So I would say that if we plug this board in, there's no reason why it won't be okay, but I want to take that off. Let's take a look in under here and make sure. This is just a plug-in, so it should just like unplug from the surface. Look at that. There's like a little dark spot right in there. Don't know what that is, but we're going to clean it. I'd rather clean it up too much. Not that there is such a thing as too much. You're safe than sorry. Yeah. Whatever that is like orange. On C66. Is that a capacitor? Yeah. It's this thing. Or no, it's that little tiny baby. Oh, it's the little tiny dude. It's the little tiny dude on this side. I love circuitry, but I really prefer big analog circuits. They're so much more fun to look at than this. This is so tedious. Loud Audio LLC. Revision A2. So they've got, does that imply they got an A1 and it looks like they had a spot for another chip that they didn't use anymore. And they have a plug that they didn't use here. All right, let's put this back together. This one looks fine. And it looks good underneath it. So one thing at a time. That way it don't cost me a dime. See, I was going to do a live stream tomorrow on doing our 2026 logo. But when we got in the door and we saw that this thing had flooded, we were like, oh, fuck. Yeah, look at that. It got wet here too. You can see. I don't know how it got so fucking wet. Where did my Q-tip go? Do I need a new one? Need a new one. I need to go buy a box of Q-tips. I'm completely out. Oh, there's water here too. Oh shit. ADHD moment. I just looked down and see this. It stained it. That's all it did. It just stained it kind of an orangey color. Which is from the water itself. Damn. This part caught the brunt of the damage, it looks like. I had not even made it to this quadrant. I was looking all the way down here and then coming back up. It's like this whole area. I think I'm sufficiently satisfied on that board. This one's got like a fucking film over it though. I think this is the biggest disassembly we've had to do in a long time. A lot of this stuff is just covered traces, so it's not like a super concern, but I still want to go over it so it doesn't corrode. This one looks pretty okay. It's a cool little board though. AF-II version 1.4. Yeah, I'll put that in the camera so if you guys ever want to look this board up, this individual board. Now we put this fucking bitch back together. Kinda. I gotta clean the face. The face plate still needs work. But that's just a dusting, so. One of these days I'm going to invest in one of the overhead like cameras that has the screen so that I can just look at the screen while I'm working on this stuff. That'd be nice. One day. Okay, that's going to stick to the side. Let's finish cleaning this bitch. Oh, that's actually a fucking piece of glass. I love that. Thank you for not cheaping out on me. It's a piece of glass. This little green lens. It's a glued in piece of glass. It's not just a piece of plastic film. That looks almost brand new. Kind of. Minus the missing components. Alright. So now we gotta put it back together. Cry. Which shouldn't be too hard. Question mark? Fingers crossed. Yeah. Shh. That's annoying. Oh, it just fucking fell right into place. How about that? That was remarkably easy. Let's put some of these pan screws back. Keep it in place for a second. That was so easy to pop back in compared to getting it out. I don't know how to feel about reassembly though. It'll take a minute. Hopefully not too long. I'd be playing music, by the way, y'all, but YouTube does not like it when I play music. They're pretty specific. Don't play music. You just have to use your imagination, or add your own. You could add your own music. I personally like 21 Pilots, so if you were to envision music, just envision 21 Pilots playing right about now, because that's what we'd be listening to. Taking my time on my ride, oh, I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I'd die for you, that's easy to say. We have at least 2 people that we would take. A bullet for them, a bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room, but there don't see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I don't know, man. Physically, I don't know what I'd do. I'd live for you, and that's harder to do, even though you say it's not true. I can't remember all the lyrics. Okay, don't hate me. My brain is like fucked. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. Help me. God. I need to restring my guitar too. That's one thing. Both my acoustics have a broken string, just different strings. One's the broken G string, and one's either a B or an E string. I can't remember. I think it's the E string. Guess I could take one string off of one guitar and put it on the other one. Not ideal, but you know, there's always the possibility. Down to, we got one more screw after this, I think. Is that all of them? It's all the ones that I care about right now, because I want to get this like put back together before I bother putting on all the knobs and shit on the front. Don't know if you guys saw that, but those were kind of a cunt. Oh, get your ass on there. There we go. All right. Now this come down the side. This plugged in here. And this came down to a spot that I tore off because I was impatient. This loops over to this board, which means we can now put the other board in. There we go. Like a glove. Here, pop that up for me for a second. All right. We need to get all these screws. I'm just going to go ahead and grab them because they all the way. I know I'm right in the camera. I believe think it was over here. Easier to get to. The fact that we had to take this thing all the way apart for there to be only minimal stuff kind of makes me happy though, because being able to see it clean again. I needed a proper excuse to take all those knobs off. And not frying not frying the mixer is a good one. That shit looks so shiny new. Look at that, hold on. It looks so good. Straight on. I don't know what it looks like on camera, but whoever designed this board, I mean, they did a good job designing it, but they chose some interesting components. I'll say the volume mixing could be done better. The sliders are nice though. They're not what I was expecting. I was expecting them to be a little bit bigger. I don't particularly like the knobs they chose. They seem like frail, kind of. But given that they're a standard, they are easy to replace. The sliders are standard too, but I don't have those, the height. Mine are the larger version. I could measure these with my calipers and like get some when I have the funding to do so. So later on, we'll fix those two broken sliders. That'll be like a future project. There we go. Mute all of them. All right, now I'm going to put on all these Phillips head next. The perk and disadvantage at the same time to living out in the middle of nowhere. You never have to hear traffic, but when you do hear traffic, you hear that shit for like a mile away in each direction because there's like nobody around. Yesterday I was like, shut the fuck up. Why is there so much traffic? It was like 2 cars. You get so used to it being quiet as hell. Y'all better drink your water. We've been at this a minute. I don't even know how long the live stream has been going. How long has it been going? An hour and 20 minutes. That's not bad. Total disassembly, clean, and reassembly. We're not done yet, but, you know, this is the easy part compared to. Stay still. Cool. All right. Now we come back in here. Plug everything back in so we don't fuck it up. Plug it in, plug it in. Fresh in 60 days. Fresh in 7 new ways. Plug it in, plug it in. Tiny ribbon cable. Why? Why did you insist on tiny ribbon cable? All right, so the back stuff is done. We're done sticking it in the rear, which means now see, there's 4, and then there's 8, 3, and 6, 8. Cool. I think we've done everything we need to do. So let's put this back on, and this way we don't have to keep flipping it over and over. Cool. I'm telling you, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Actually, before we keep going, are all of the... Okay. I had this internal, like, there was the floating plugs over here. These ones. And I was like, oh, or maybe it was these ones. I don't know. I think it was these two. I had a momentary, oh shit, did those make it? Only would have been a slight tragedy if it would have been left outside. I'd take this whole back off. Take that whole board back out. Edit undo. Aries says, hey, how's it going? We're almost done putting the back on this mixer, and then we can go back to reassembling the front. I just don't like flipping it back and forth, so figured why not go ahead and knock this part out. And then when I flip it back over, it can stay over. We're still not going to power it today because I want to give it a chance to like air out the alcohol that I put in there. Not that it'll take that long. It should already be dry actually, but I don't know. Am I making sense? Like I don't want to power it on the same day that I just reassembled it. I've got other things that I could be doing, you know. And then whenever I get a chance, I can come back and then give this a power and see what it's doing. Did those screws get offset? They did. Fucker. Perks to having a little bit of torque, I guess, and go ahead and fix that one hole, and then the rest of them fall in line. Look at that. Actually, I do kind of want to power it on, just to be honest. But I don't, you know, like I do, but I don't. I want to power it on and make sure it still works, but I don't want to power it on because what if it don't? What if the water did damage something that we missed? Although we pretty well looked at the entire system, so I don't know. That's the wrong screw. There's a pro and a con. The pro, we'll find out immediately if it works. The con is if it breaks, then we're still out of mixer even after all that. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. Right now, boy, that looks so nice. We'll just enjoy the fact that it looks nice and shiny. Put all these little keycaps back on. We'll move you guys so you can see. Hold that in so I can. You're guessing Spec is diving. Yes. You would be right. It's both me and Hikari though. It's just I'm the driving one. I don't let her work on stuff like this, because if it fucks up, she'll carry the emotional baggage, whereas I don't. If I fuck it up, it's like, well, let's fix it. I'm not emotionally attached to it like she is. Cool. All the sliders are back on. And now we're going to start with pan. Let's go, because pan's the way. And all the pan are gray. So I need all the gray knobs. There's one. Why am I missing so many gray knobs? Did they just get vanished? Yeah, you can definitely feel the resistance. Little shits. Gray. Where's the gray? Give me the gray. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. The gray ones are hard to see. There's one more gray. Where's the other gray? Help me out here, eyeballs. Find them. Find the gray one. It should be right here. Thank you. Perfect. All right. Now we can do green, the FX. And then we also have this one, which is kind of for the FX, but it's for different FX. This little clicky knob is a goes for that. These are going so much easier than taking them off, aren't they? Taking them off was such a fucking pain. All right. Put a couple of white on there. Why not? As long as we're whittling them down, I guess. Need one for the headphones. Need one for the control room. Ah. And then I believe all the gain knobs were white. I'll tell you what, this would be. Let me look up something real quick just to confirm. All right. So oh wow, that's so tiny. That's such a tiny picture. Let me fucking do something real quick. Sorry, y'all. I'm like juggling again. All right, put that up there where we can fucking see this bitch. Oh, there's some gray ones. I'm gonna put those go on the compressor. Boy, these hide so well in plain sight. It's crazy. Like literally all the colors I'm looking at are like shiny enough that I can't really see them at the right angle. Right? But on the other hand, they're visible. Like the keycap or the knobs are visible, but seeing what color they are is not so much. All right. This is the frequency knob. This chooses the frequency that you're adjusting for the mid, whereas the mid has a blue keycap. I say keycap as if it's a fucking keyboard, but you know it's a knob cover, so don't listen to me. All right. Is there any more? I know that I feel like there's a gray one. There it is. I was gonna say I feel like there's a gray one left that I'm missing somewhere. So now We should be working with blue for a second. This is probably not the order everybody would want it to be done in, but it's the order my brain saved it in. So many knobs. And actually, the FX knobs are wrong. I fucked those up. They're supposed to go, those are orange. Oh wait, what am I doing? Those go up here. Wow, I'm like halfway staring at it and kind of not paying attention. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on. My brain just took a detour. Ignore it. Just keep plugging. I'm gonna have to go through and reset my mixer though. That's the other thing. All these knobs were like adjusted for each channel. No longer. Now it's just fuck you. Good luck. Figure your own sound out. Why don't you? I guess I could have taken a picture. This is why taking a picture is important. I could have taken a picture of all the knobs. Performance anxiety? Yes. We're going to blame it on performance anxiety. Perfect. That's what it is. We've got performance anxiety. The bright side is we now have a clean looking mixer. Oh, I'm doing it again. It's the wrong knob. I'm just going in a line, dude. Like, I know what order they go in, but like my brain doesn't give a fuck. It's just like stick them in there, keep going. All right, now we can go back to the green. Now green covers quite a bit of this mixer because these along here are orange, which I said I was going to do green and now I'm doing orange. Deal with it.
Cool. Everything else is green, literally. So now we just go in here and stick all the rest of these on. And now where my brain can stop thinking about where they're supposed to go and just put them where there's left. I don't know if you can hear it or if it even makes a sound for that matter, but these knobs have a middle. There's a little divot, and as you rotate it, it'll settle down in the divot. And that's unify. That's the unity gain, which is 0. Instead of negative where you turn the volume down or positive where you boost it, it's 0, which is the same amplitude in as out. So it's unity between input and output. And so I'm just setting all these to unity gain because I can go through and adjust them later. If I want them down, I can turn them down, and I don't have to think about the fact that they're all up. I'll know they're all up because I set them that way. If you didn't know, now you know. That's what the U stands for on here. This U stands for unity gain. And at 1 hour and 48 minutes, we're nearing completion. We've got to put in the nuts on top of each socket. Why are we missing? Oh, because this goes over here. That's why. And then this one goes over here. Cool. So now we have a completed mixer. Now we just gotta put those shims and nuts back on. A whole handful of hardware. All right. Just gonna start sticking washers. Why is there a honeybee in my fucking house? Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I had to get him out without hurting him. So gotta like capture the bee. I don't want a honeybee in my house. They belong outside, making honey. Not in here, bothering me. Shoo, fly, don't bother me. Well, that and when I shut the door, I don't want them to get stuck in here and then get mad at me. How dare you trap me in this place that I flew into willingly? How dare you? How do I have an extra washer? Oh, because it goes right there. That was about to get amusing. God, I don't miss this part.
That synthesizer we built, Wanda, has like 700 of these. Could you start beekeeping?
Yeah, I could. I would have to find the queen, though, and then relocate her to a hive. But the other alternative would be to just find the beehive and go out there with a suit and gather some of the honey. Like, you only want to take a small amount, leave them the majority, especially if it's being populated. And this way they can keep, you know.
Yeah, it's not Swedish.
It shouldn't be leftover parts on this one. Shouldn't be. There's only 4 screws that are not in this mixer right now, and those go to the side panels. And everything else I'm holding in my hand. This thing looks so nice being clean. If I still had my YouTube set up, I would have had an overhead view of this whole thing. But I haven't finished setting up everything yet. Like right now, y'all are just on my cell phone, which is not even a cell phone. It's like over Wi-Fi, right? So if I wanted to like set up an overhead, I would use my desktop because that has a capture card and I can use my full setup where I've got like my webcams for different like stuff, and I've got the big camera for an overhead view. But I can't do that right now. That's too many spoons. And I would have to I have to set the computer, it's my desktop back up. My desktop's the one that's got the capture card, and I have a special card that lets me have like 12 USBs or some shit just in one spot. And I use that for the webcams. So like I have usually one webcam to see what I look like. So if anybody actually like sees it, it's a little tiny profile of me up in the corner. And then the great big main view is the overhead view. And I normally have like really good lighting, so it's easy to see. And then I have a secondary webcam for a side view so people can see just like kind of the area that I'm working in. Have it kind of small and off to the side. And this way there's plenty of different stuff to look at. And if my hands get in the way, the side camera can catch where my hands get in the way of the overhead. We have officially reassembled this thing. 2 hours, basically under 2 hours. That's perfect. So now let's go through and tighten all these, just give them just a little bit of a snug. I don't want to like make them super tight, but I don't want them to be able to just fall off either. If I had my socket, I could just socket them down, but I don't. That damn thing is literally in my Jeep right now. Oh, I scratched it. Yeah. Oh well. Damn, did they really just not get that tight? I think I may have like got them as tight as they would go, and then as I'm tightening the other ones. I thought I put them on there pretty good. Cool. Now for these scratches, I can take a Sharpie and just go. So now these click on like this, and then you screw this back on. Every screw has been used, every knob has been used, and now we have a brand new looking mixer. Boom, look at that. That thing is shiny. It looks brand new. You can never tell it's been used, except for like we scratched it a little bit right up here, and it's still dirty slightly, but you know. It's fixed. And fixed being no longer filled with Boom. The hell is that noise? Oh, it's trash day. They're picking up the dumpster. So boom. So now we have power. We have power right here. I got my headphones right here. And a tangled mass over here. As proper with any studio. Gotta have a fucking huge tangle of wires, or is it really a studio? Yeah, have our headphone cable. Seems dry and in working order. We'll plug headphones in right there. We'll plug, once it's turned off, we'll plug it in. And then we need this USB cable, which goes to our computer. All right. Actually, let me not plug it in my computer before I turn it on. Turn it on. 3, 2, 1, 0. She lives. It's alive. So in about 2 hours, it took us 2 hours to tear this thing completely apart and fix it. So now let's plug it in USB, see if the USB still works. And I can't play music for y'all because it could kick me off my live. But I am going to play it in my headphones. Audio device. Huh. Well, that's not a great sign. Let's try putting it over here. Audio device. So USB doesn't seem to be working right now so far. Is it even detected? It's not detecting USB. I need another USB cable to make sure it's not just a faulty cable. Do I even have another cable? It doesn't look like I readily have a fucking cable. Damn! I love loud equipment. It's so fucking fun. Here's a cable. I knew I had at least one cable in here somewhere that was possibly a USB. All right. Fingers crossed. Sometimes cables just go bad. So hopefully it's just a cable and not the USB module. Because if it's the USB module, then, well, there's not shit I can do about it. Not readily. Because everything's dry. Which means if it's fucked, then it's probably from where it was plugged in. See, here's the thing. This son of a bitch was plugged in. Like it, when we left, it was still plugged in. It was turned off, but it was plugged in. And that's enough. That's enough to fry shit. So hopefully it's just the cable being a fucking piece of shit cable. It's so fucking loud outside. I don't know why. These motherfuckers. I live in the middle of no goddamn where, and every time it surprises me that there's that much fucking traffic all the time. Makes no sense. All right, so not exactly sure why the USB is not working. It is low enough that it could have been affected. But I'm going to try seeing if maybe it's a driver issue, because it could be a driver issue. Sometimes that's a thing. And in this case, it very well could be, because it's a USB mixer. How's it going, David? Welcome to the stream. We're trying to fix a mixer that got wet. So far, it's clean and dry and reassembled, and everything looks nice and it looks like there's no reason for it not to work. However, the USB isn't working, and that's kind of what we need. We need that. If we don't have the USB, then this thing's no better than a regular mixer, which, not that there's anything wrong with a regular mixer, but that fucking honeybee is back. I wish they'd stop coming in here. The fuck? Bro, get out the goddamn window and get in this fucking cup. Are you shitting me? Ugh. Sorry. A bee came in here while I'm in the middle of trying to set this mixer up. All right, let's see one more time. All right. So far, nothing. Wow. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. You know, I can still plug my microphone in. Which microphone? This is SM58. Cool. I have a love-hate relationship with yarn. I both love it and despise it because it gets in everything, and Hikari puts all this fucking bullshit right here in the middle of my workspace. And it gets in the way and tangled on everything. All right. Now can I use this fucking microphone? Let's see if any of these work. Because that's going to be the trick. Check 1, 2, check, check, check. Check this microphone. Check a microphone. Oh, hey, hello. We have functional headphones with a lot of reverb. Holy hell. Let's turn the reverb down. Turn all the reverbs down because we don't need reverb right now. Thank you for the goddamn loud, obnoxious fucking motor noises. Fuck me, bro. I can't wait till we can afford to move even further away from people. Because I hate the sound of large equipment, especially like when I'm working. It's I don't know how loud it is on camera, but that shit is shaking the fucking RV, and it's obnoxious. It's not remotely pleasant in the slightest. All right, check 1, check 1. We have headphones. Yep. Do we have left and right? There we go. There's left and right. Perfect. We can hear that really good. More fucking traffic. Holy fucking Jesus. Tell me y'all hear that. Do y'all hear that on the microphone? Is that coming through like how loud that shit is? This is not an industrial drive. It's a fucking middle of nowhere residential area. Whatever. All right, so we have this one works just fine. You cannot hear it, unfortunately, because it's on my headphones. And I can't send my desktop audio to this thing because for whatever reason, the USB is not working. Yeah, at all. It's very disappointing. I just want something to goddamn work, dude. I don't want to have to jump through hoops to make something. At least literally it has a USB on it. I don't want to have to fucking replace that shit. I might have to. I don't know. It's not detecting it. Maybe if I'm going to try rebooting my PC just to see. In the meantime, we know channel 1 works, right? So we're going to leave just extra busy today. Yeah, I guess so. It's obnoxious and it's pissing me off because it's extremely loud. And then the airplane. Hold on. I wanted fresh goddamn air in this son of a bitch. And instead I gotta seal up because it's obnoxious. Like even with all the doors and windows shut, it's still like loud. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't move in the middle of nowhere to hear noise. I moved down the middle of nowhere to have some peace and fucking quiet. All right, so let's try channel 2. Check 1, 2, channel 2. Turn that bitch up so it's got some noise. Are we unmuted? Yeah, we're unmuted. Volume should be up. Why is this one not working? Just to confirm. We're here, we're here. Yep, we're on that one, but not this one. Fuck. All right. Check 1, 2, check, 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 check. We've got level. Ah, left and right is not on. We need to turn left and right on all these. I turned them off. Fuck me. All right, so channel 2 is good. Let's try channel 3. Channel 3 is good. Good deal. We can hear channel 3. Let's just turn all these gains the fuck up so we don't have to keep doing this back and forth. This is what I mean about like I had to reset this mixer now. All right. And then we'll go to channel 4. Unmute, turn that bitch up. Yep, we got channel 4. I'm just going to turn them all up because it seems to me like they're going to work. All right, so 4, check 1, yep. 5, check 1, yep. 6, yep. 7, yep. 8, yep. 9 and 10, 11 and 12, 13 and 14. Okay, mixer's alive. So motherfucker's alive. So now we can turn all this shit back down. I usually use channel 8 just because it's convenient. Turn these back down so I don't blast my eardrums later. These can get muted. And now, the only thing that's not working is USB. Why is USB not working? We got everything else clean. Let me see what my computer's doing. Waiting on me. Cool. All right. Volume. Maybe the cable is no good. I still don't see how, but. Okay. Well. Huh. Well, USB is definitely fucked. So it didn't all survive. I think with it being plugged in, that was enough to fuck up the USB. But the mixer itself is intact. This is auxiliary. This is actually really cool because it can be both auxiliary input and it can be auxiliary output. So I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's see if my PC has an input on it. It might not. If my laptop has it does have a mic slot. Here's the real question though. Will it register? Fuck. we actually, this is split up into left and right. We'll do right over here and left over here. And then these can come up to unity gain. Bring that back on. Let's see what we got here. Audio device, headphones. What do we got? Oh, I can't play all that. That's too much playing. All right, so we can input from headphones into here. But that doesn't help us because that's inputting into the mixer. We need output from the mixer and into our PC. All right, let's try this. This is going to be our second thing. This is our Pro iRig stream. Right now it has USB-C on it. My laptop has USB-C, so we're going to just use the USB-C on it and see how that works. And then, oh, word. No thanks, I don't want to optimize my device. We want to do right, left. Let's see if we can change audio device. iRig stream speakers. Fucking righteous. All right. So that's... Let's unplug these because we don't need those. We don't need all that plugged in at the same time. So we're outputting to the PC. Hopefully. Volume mixer, input device. Ah, there's an input. So let's bring up some convoluted way to hear it then. Let's go to OBS Studios. This is so much work, y'all. Remind me later. Cancel. Fucking, where's the mic input? There's the mic input. This is so... If the USB would work, literally the USB is input output. Would not have to jump through these hoops. All right, so we have 8. I can hear it on my headphones. Beautiful. Fucking gorgeous. All right, so for the sake of let's see, input capture, audio input, settings, iRig stream. Okay. Yeah. Can we monitor this fucking bitch though? How do we monitor? Can we monitor? Yes, no, maybe. Can I hear it? Can it output somewhere? Settings, audio, desktop audio, default, word, microphone, line in, apply. All right, so there's got to be a way to monitor this shit. And then, because I can't remember how to do it. It's been that long. Advanced audio. All right, so to hear this stream, I'm going to have to see. Advanced audio properties. And then audio monitoring. Monitor. Check 1. Check one, test one, test one, test one. Fucking hell. Test one, test one. Can we monitor that? Is that monitoring now? No? Question mark? Desktop audio. Okay, so it's on desktop audio. And how do we listen to desktop audio? There's got to be a way. That's the input device, output device. Test one. Test one. We have audio. We have a way. Where there's a Wilson, there's a way. That's so weird having a delay. But at least we know it works. So, yeah. That's a very convoluted way to, like, listen to everything. But we know it works. So we know we can do iRig stream. We can stream that way, which is good. So we have an option. It's not the option, but it's an option. Even though the USB doesn't want to fucking work. It picks up the iRig stream, which is good. It does not, however, pick up the mixer, which makes me upsetting, but, you know. It could be the cable. It could be the USB on either end. We don't know. There's no way to tell. But we know that we're crises averted. So this mixer is now, like, fixed. Yeah? Fucking righteous. Let's go. Fixed is a relative term because obviously with the USB not functioning, that cuts out a tremendous amount of functionality. But if you look where it was sitting, it is on the bottom. So it's possible that this could still be in need of fixing. But we've already exhausted 2.5 hours to this project. And we know that it's clean and working, which is the biggest issue. So we're going to call it a day. And then the next live stream we're hoping will be tomorrow whenever we do our 2026 logo for Spectrum DIY. All right? So anyway, y'all have a great day. Stay hydrated, clean as you go, and we'll see you on the next live stream video. Peace.